I'm Yolanda Chandler, a DNP student at Jacksonville State University. My project is titled The Evolution of Nursing Leadership, Novice to Expert. This project was conducted in a 170-bed rural hospital in the southeastern United States. A needs assessment was performed with the chief nursing officer of the facility. The CNO identified several needs within the hospital, but stated that one pressing problem within nursing was leadership. There had been quite a bit of turnover among administration, nursing, and nurse managers over the previous 3 years, and she had several nurses in leadership positions with no previous leadership experience or training. That's how this project was conceived. Here, I've listed learning outcomes for the project. I wanted to explore the need for leadership development in nursing and identify the roles of nurse leaders and characteristics of successful nurse leaders. I wanted to identify any barriers to effective nursing leadership and link theoretical frameworks to leadership development. Finally, I wanted to develop and implement a program to assess and educate nurse leaders and analyze data to aid in continued program development in order to create a sustainable leadership development program. The facility didn't have any formal leadership training. However, most nurse managers had held a charge nurse position at some point in their career. The PICO question for this project was, in nurse managers in a rural hospital, how does a leadership development program compared to the current leadership orientation affect nurse managers' self-reported competency? The first theory selected for this project was Bernard Bass's transformational leadership theory. Bass researched the level of influence that a leader could exert on followers, and he discovered 4 elements that embodied transformational leadership. Those are idealized influence, inspirational motivation, intellectual stimulation, and individualized consideration. I'll speak to each one of those briefly. With idealized influence, leaders must continually strive for improvement because they become a role model for everyone on their team. The inspirational motivation, leaders inspire people to follow by providing attainable goals and a vision. There must be an essential reason for nursing staff to work hard, and a transformational leader can encourage a group of people to move forward toward mutually beneficial success. The intellectual stimulation, leaders keep nursing staff challenged and are always promoting growth down to an individual level. With individualized consideration, the leader looks at what a member of the group needs, then creates motivation at the individual level to encourage productivity. The second theoretical framework used to guide this project was Patricia Benner's novice to expert model. This model has 5 stages nurses move through as they gain skills and proficiency. These stages are novice, advanced beginner, competent, proficient, and expert. This model functions for the bedside nurse but serves very well as a model for nurse leaders. A literature review revealed a great deal of information supporting this project. I'm sharing 3 findings on this slide. Peterson found that over 75% of current nurse leaders will be leaving the workforce over the next few years, and stated that promotion without leadership experience or training leads to poor outcomes. Research also indicates that few hospitals have an organized transition process from bedside nursing to a leadership role, and that a robust leadership development program can better prepare a staff nurse for a leadership position. McKay and Larkey determined that strong nursing leadership is vital to the prosperity of the organization, the hospital staff, and the patients they serve. I used a quantitative quasi-experimental design for the project. The nurse leader competency self-assessment was used as the tool, and during individual training sessions, nurse managers completed this tool both before and after training. The tool may be found at aonl.org. That's the American Organization for Nursing Leadership. There is a cost associated with this tool for non-members, but members may access it for free. Nurse managers were contacted via email and individual training sessions were scheduled. All training was concluded in one workday, but could easily be broken into sections over several days or be offered as group training. Participants signed an informed consent letter and completed a demographic survey. They then took the Nurse Leader Competency Self-Assessment for nurse managers on the AONL website prior to nursing leadership development training. The data collected is focused on the art and the leader within portion of the tool. After the Nurse Leader Competency Self-Assessment was complete, training was provided on the following topics: characteristics of a leader, leadership styles, leadership behaviors, barriers to effective leadership, giving and receiving constructive feedback, conflict resolution, transformational leadership, and team building. After training, nurse managers completed the Nurse Leader Competency Self-Assessment again. Results from the Nurse Leader Competency Self-Assessment were submitted to a statistician and data was generated. Results were covered over the next few slides. Before this current position, only 37.5%, which is 3 out of the 8 participants, reported previous management experience. 87.5% had an associate's degree in nursing reported as their highest degree earned. This slide shows participants' years of experience as a nurse, as well as their years of experience as a nurse manager. Exactly half of the participants had been a nurse manager for 5 years or less, and the other half had been in the position for 6 or more years. 75% had been nurses for 16 years or more. The next 3 slides show learning objectives on the Nurse Leader Competency Self-Assessment that were impacted by training. The Wilcoxon Sign Rank test was performed to analyze the effect of the training on participants, and a p-value less than 0.05 indicates statistical significance. You'll see that we covered things such as performance management, staff development and retention, conflict management, situation management, and relationship management. This is a continuation of the data, and all the topics on this chart show statistically significant improvement in self-reported leadership competency. On this slide, you will see influencing others, promoting professional development among staff, personal growth and development, engaging in reflective practice, and practice ethical behavior. So lots of things were covered on the Nurse Leader Competency Self-Assessment. Of the 43 objectives, there were only 10 that showed no significant increase in the score after training. In conclusion, the Leadership Development Program helped nurse managers gain better proficiency in many areas of leadership, as evidenced by a significant increase in Nurse Leader Competency Self-Assessment scores after training. Also, this project is easily sustainable by placing the content and voiceover PowerPoint videos within the hospital intranet. As part of the training, a book list on leadership development was composed, and administration was encouraged to add books from this list to their library as a nurse manager resource. I'd like to express my profound gratitude and deep regards to Dr. Leanne Keith, my capstone chairperson, for her patient guidance, encouragement, and useful feedback. She was always available to offer advice and help. Dr. Keith's knowledge and exacting attention to detail has kept my progress on schedule, and her willingness to give her time is very much appreciated. Also, a special thanks to Dr. Fallon Turley for her efforts in generating the data for project dissemination. Project completion would not have been possible without you. I'd like to thank the project facility administrative team for believing in the value of leadership development, offering suggestions and feedback, and for enabling the nurse managers to attend. I also thank the nurse managers for their participation in the Leadership Development Program. To my children and grandchildren, Brooke and Ben, thank you for supporting this endeavor and always believing in me. Asher, thank you for allowing my absence during your sporting events. And Tegan, I'm now available for snuggles. To my husband Wayne, thank you for cooking your own dinner and never complaining while I was doing homework again. And I could never forget Aunt Carol for always being the person I could turn to when feeling less than enough. Your encouragement and unwavering support throughout my life has never gone unnoticed. Please feel free to reach out at any time with questions or comments. My email is ychandler@jsu.edu. Thank you for listening.